Welcome to this week's The Rating Room Quiz. This is where I test Andy's knowledge on this week's film. It's time to buckle up and get those thinking caps on. Andy, are you ready for 4 questions on Toy Story? Or 4 statements, should I actually say?
I am ready. My score is going to be not 100%, but it's going to be infinity and beyond.
Andy has obviously got 100% for the first 2 weeks of Season 2. So will he maintain his 100% perfect record? So again, just a recap for any new listeners. This is where I will give Andy 4 statements and he has to identify which 2 are correct and which 2 are false. So straight into it. Billy Crystal was originally offered the part of Buzz Lightyear, but he turned it down. Barbie doll was originally scripted to be in the film, but the makers of Barbie doll refused Pixar the rights to use the Barbie doll because they believed the film would be a failure. Tim Allen's brother voices some of the Buzz Lightyear lines for the Toy Story video games and toys. They sound nearly identical. And Toy Story took 2 years to make as Tom Hanks was busy filming Philadelphia and Forrest Gump. So Andy, they're the 4 statements. Do you want to give us what you think are the false ones and which ones are correct?
You've done well this week. I think there's a snake in your boots. You've tried to fox me. This is a tricky one. I am going to say that Billy Crystal in the role of Buzz Lightyear is a false statement. And I have no real reason why. It just doesn't feel right to me. So I'm going to say that's false. Now, the second statement around Barbie. Is Barbie made by Mattel? I have a feeling she is. And there's mention of Mattel in the film. So that leads me to believe that there wouldn't have been any sort of problems in acquiring the rights to Barbie. And if they thought it would be a failure, maybe they wouldn't want to include any of their toys. So for that reason, I'm going to say that one's false as well. There's a little bit of logic in my guesswork there. So statement 3, Tim Allen's brother voicing some games and toys. I can see that happening. So yeah, I'm going to say that one's true. And the timeline does stack up for Forrest Gump, Philadelphia, Toy Story, because I think they are certainly released in 3 consecutive years. So that would suggest they were made consecutively. So for that reason, I'm going to say that's true as well. So I'm saying false, false, true, true.
Oh, listeners, are you sat down? Because this is the rating room first. Andy, you got nil point.
What? Oh my goodness.
It's happened. It's finally happened after all these episodes. You've got nil point. So, obviously you know that they're wrong. So, in terms of I don't have to go through each one and say which one's wrong and which one's right.
Yeah, don't rub it in anymore. This is already painful enough.
But I've got some additional information here. So, Billy Crystal did turn down the part of Buzz Lightyear. And he later said it was a huge mistake, and that's why he said yes straight away when they asked him to be the voice of Mike in Monsters, Inc. Tim Allen's brother doesn't provide additional voices for Buzz Lightyear. However, Tom Hanks's brother, Jim, does provide the voices for Woody in not only in some of the movies, not only in some of the toys, but video games, but also adverts as well, because they sound nearly identical.
Is this the same brother that did some of the running in Forrest Gump?
I don't know if it's the same one, but yeah, obviously he did the running. I don't know if it's the same brother, Jim.
Bit of a family business going on here, isn't there, for the Hanks family?
And the other bit, I just want to provide some additional information. Toy Story didn't take 2 years, but I did sprinkle in some, a bit of Philadelphia and Forrest Gump there, because I wondered whether you kind of get the link, in terms of the timings. Toy Story actually took 4 years to make. However, it actually took 7 years from the initial idea to completion. So it was a long time.
That would have been the 1988 short film Tin Toy. which was the origination of Toy Story, wasn't it?
Yes, indeed.
Do I get a bonus point for that? Or am I stuck with 0%?
0. No point.